The Labour Party in Lagos State and its candidate in the 2023 gubernatorial elections, Gbadebo Rhodes Viva, have rejected Monday's ruling by the Election Petition Tribunal, throwing out its petition against the victory of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of the All Progressives Congress (APC). Justice Arum Ashom, who read the unanimous judgment from the tribunal, had held that the petition is devoid of merit and subsequently struck it out.
And of course, in a statement released yesterday and signed by the party's publicity secretary, Olubunmi Odesanya, noted that they had instructed the legal team to review the judgment with a view to appealing the same at the appellate court. We're joined this morning by the former Commissioner of Energy, Lagos State, and political commentator, Olawale. Good morning, Olawale Oluwo. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me on your program. Good morning.
All right. I would like you to talk first of all about the court's verdict. First of all, what your thoughts were on the court's verdict and the fact that the Labour Party has rejected it and now appeals.
Okay, thank you very much. With respect to the court verdict, we reject it in its entirety, and the reasons are very clear. All the issues canvassed by the petitioner was not interpreted properly in line with the law and based on the facts that were made available for their lordships. So for me, I think it's something that is not good for democracy. The party is appealing it, and that application process is already underway. I think the major plank of the disagreement is the issue of swearing to an oath of allegiance to a foreign country and a foreign sovereign that is very, very exclusive and will not put you in a position to be able to serve Nigeria when the need arises. I think that was a major fundamental constitutional provision that the court shouldn't have ignored. So for us, we're not pleased. The application process for going to the appeal court is already underway, and we'll be updating the public as we make progress on that.
Yeah, shed more light on, because these things have been described as technicalities, even right from the presidential election petition, that the courts basically look out for technicalities here or there. But, what would you say to the argument that, Labour Party itself, has not been able to, provide a compelling argument as to why, their case should, be taken or seriously, or why they should, the court should have ruled in their favor?
I don't think it's an issue of technicality. I think it's an issue of perception and interpretation of the Constitution. And I will explain to you. There's a lot of confusion in the environment. And I think their lordships may also have fallen into that confusion scenario. Now, the issue at hand was not an issue of citizenship. There are different sections that deals with citizenship and deals with oath of allegiance of office. Now, for citizenship, if you were a natural born citizen of Nigeria, maybe born to a Nigerian parents or to a Nigerian grandparents, it is a settled matter in law that you are a Nigerian and nobody can take that citizenship and the rights that come with it from you. So that's a settled matter in law and in fact. Now, what is at stake here is the issue of oath of allegiance. And let me give you an example. Before you are authorized to become a foreign citizen, particularly in the United States of America, their oath of allegiance is the most exclusive process that you can find anywhere in the world. Because number one, it is extremely specific. It is almost like a military grade oath of allegiance. A military to the state, even against your own country. And if there is a situation, you will have to renounce your responsibility to your country and be on the side of the United States of America. These are very, very serious issues. Now, it does not mean if you were born in the United States, automatically you are bound by that oath. No, there must be a clear distinction. There's a difference between citizenship, oath of allegiance, and oath and a pledge, rather. Let me repeat it again. There's a differentiation between citizenship, oath of allegiance, and a pledge. When you're a citizen of a country, you are bound by your pledge to that country and to that sovereign or that king or that president. That is on one hand. On the other hand, if you were an adult and you go to a foreign country and you voluntarily agreed to oath of allegiance on account of the fact that you're applying for citizenship, they are going to force you, particularly in America, to renounce your allegiance to your country, to renounce your allegiance to your president or monarch or king or sovereign, and you must bear arms and be ready to do public service for America, to the exclusion of your own country. That is a major conflict. Now, if you were born in America, is the pledge that you'll be bound to. Because in Nigeria too, if you listen to the Nigerian pledge, it says, I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. And at the end of it, it says, so help me God. So even as a Nigerian citizen, you cannot be forced to bear arms for Nigeria, except you now go ahead to pledge that allegiance. If you are going into office now, whether as an elected official or an appointed official, you go and make that oath of allegiance. So that gives you a responsibility that is higher than the responsibility that ordinary citizens will have. And these are the issues that are being canvassed in court. I don't know why their lordships are not looking at it from this perspective.
Yeah, but there's also the part where the Labour Party was also challenging the victory of the APC in Lagos State, based on, maybe not going with the laws set by the Electoral Act and, other, for what it says here, fraud or other violations of the Electoral Act. So tell us what are your thoughts on how that was also turned down? Was the Labour Party able to prove that?
That is already a problem for the entire Nigeria. See, what I see is a situation where different tribunals are interpreting the laws in the way they perceive them. And there are a lot of issues that have to be determined ultimately at the Supreme Court. In the particular election of Lagos, honestly, the Electoral Act was not substantially complied with. I mean, I'm not the only one saying this. Almost all the residents of Lagos can bear witness to that. Number two, there was violence. There was violence. And that should have compelled the reconducting some of the elections in order to determine there were some polling booths even that elections did not take place. So where we are today is that the appeal court that handled the presidential election, all their decisions are already being challenged at the Supreme Court. So this ratio descendant that should guide the lower courts, a lot of the tribunal and the appeal tribunals are still waiting to know where the position of the law are on this issue. So for me, I think the election is one that was very, very non-compliant. Now, the Labour Party is going to court. That process is underway, and we hope for victory at the appeal level.
All right. Also, I'd like to find out what your thoughts are on the People's Democratic Party, even in some measure, joining the Labour Party to its suit against the APC, even though, yes, that has been struck out. But what are your thoughts on that, and what are your expectations from this case going forward?
Honestly, I don't think that is a major issue for the PDP. I think they can talk on their own issues. But from an outsider, from the perspective of an outsider looking in, I believe that the substantial petition or the substantial issues in the petition of the PDP were determined on their own, even without relevance to the fact that the PDP joined the Labour Party as the respondent. Because ordinarily, I mean, the Labour Party was not declared the winner, so there is no basis for coming to defend what you have not been declared as a beneficiary of. So, by and large, I don't think it will affect the PDP petition in any way. I want to believe that they are also going on appeal, and then we all continue the battle at the appellate level.
All right. Well, time will tell how this eventually turns out.
Sure, it will.
And of course, what the Supreme Court will eventually declare, because like it's, everyone has said, this sets the tone for future deliberations with regards to Nigeria's elections and Nigeria's, judiciary. And, it might also set Nigeria on a very, very risky path forward. But thanks very much, Mr. Oluwo, for your time this morning. We would like to speak with you again, as things unfold.